I expected the worst, but it all worked out. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, the best place to build your tech career and have fun along the way. On Tuesdays, I upload makeup and lifestyle videos, and on Fridays, I upload technology and career-related content. Today, I'm super excited to share with you the story of how I got my first software engineering internship while in college. So during my years of college, toward the end of college, I knew that I wanted to get that secure, high-paying job so that one day I could support myself and be independent. And it was really, a process, a learning process of what to do and how to secure that. And so I wanted to share this with you. Maybe you guys are thinking about internships for the summer or in the future and you don't know what that process is like, or maybe you just want to know what it takes to actually get the internship. And so I'm here to share that with you today. If you like what you see, please like and comment on this video, and remember to subscribe. I love posting content for you guys and connecting with you guys. So with that, let's get into the video. So if you don't know who I am, I'm currently in my first year of graduate school pursuing a PhD in computer science, and I finished my Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science and my Bachelor of Arts in Mathematics in 2020, and I did not think about internships in computer science or software engineering until my sophomore and junior year of undergraduate. So my freshman year, I didn't really try for that high-paying job using my courses. However, if you are a freshman in college, you can still apply for internships and use your skills, because let me tell you, in my experience at this internship, there were interns hired that they just completed their first year of classes. So don't feel like you'll never find anything, because believe me, tech is a growing field and you definitely have a shot of being hired. So with that, sophomore year of college, I had a job working as a technology assistant for professors. So I did that for sophomore year. At the end of sophomore year, I was thinking, like, should I try for an internship before junior year? And by the time I thought about this, it was kind of late in the application cycle. It was like March and April, and I didn't really end up applying very many places. So the summer before junior year of college is when I decided to do research with my campus, with my school. So if you think that there are no opportunities for internships, you can always try looking if your school has research opportunities, whether it's for credit or for getting paid, because that's always nice. And then you can also be published with a professor, and that's a really good credential. So don't discredit applying for research internships, research positions with the school, because that's a really good option. Now, the reason why I mention that is because I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do this summer before my junior year. I did send in my resume to an aviation company, and I was like, hey, it was like the last minute before the deadline, right? So I sent it in. And then a week or two later, sorry, they filled the position. So that didn't go anywhere, right? So then we get to junior year. So that summer, I did research, computer science and mathematics research project with a few professors, really rewarding, and I made really close relationships with those professors who later helped me get into graduate school, so I'm very thankful for that. Now, junior year starts. So junior year is when I'm like, okay, I gotta get that internship before senior year, because the idea is that when you have an internship before senior year, if they have a good relationship with you, they like what you did, you have skills, then they'll hire you full-time when you graduate. So that was my thought process, and there was a lot of pressure junior year for me to get something before senior year, so I could build these relationships and have something that I could support myself with after college. And so my junior year, the beginning of the year, August, September, that's when I was looking at these deadlines, like Google and Microsoft and these big companies. They have a lot of these cycles happening in the beginning of the year, like August, September, October. And so I applied to Google, and I remember, I think I applied to Intuit. The process for those is a little bit different than some of the smaller companies, but basically, like, you have your standard submit your application online with a resume, a few essay questions, and different things that are unique to that particular job. And so I did that, and with Google, I did end up going through a few different stages later on, which I'm very thankful for. And then for the Intuit one, I didn't end up getting very far with that. And so, you know, I had Google kind of in my head, and then I randomly got a call, and it was from the organization that I had sent my resume that year that I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. So it was when I thought to myself, oh, okay, gotta send this in real quick. And they actually saved my resume from that application cycle, and they called me in September of my junior year. So this was back in 2018. And so I get a phone call, and they said, hey, can we meet with you? Would you like to schedule an interview? We're hiring software engineering interns. I was like, absolutely. And so we scheduled an interview. It was over like Zoom or Skype, because it was a video call interview. I was in a different state than where the internship was. And so I marked my calendar. I made my own little thing, my own pitch about myself, and on my desktop, and I have all these papers ready to take notes. That's another thing. I can go in a separate video if you guys want to know how I prepare for interviews and whatnot. I think that would be really helpful. And so I got ready, and I was thinking to myself, okay, like, what if they ask me about my resume? What if they ask me data structures and algorithms? And what if it's like a technical interview? I wasn't quite sure. They just told me that I'd be meeting with a manager and a software engineer. So yeah, I expected the worst, but it all worked out. So I prepared, and I'm checking my phone that day, and I remember thinking like, oh, okay, I have time to go to this special room on campus where I'm gonna be alone, I'm gonna have Wi-Fi, I'm not gonna be in my dorm with other roommates, and there's not gonna be any distractions. And I checked my time, and I realized, wait, I'm on a different time zone than the interviewers are. And I realized this with about 15 minutes to spare. So I was in my room, and I quickly like changed into a professional blouse, and I got my stuff ready, and I set up shop in my on my dorm bed. I'm pretty sure I was on my dorm bed. I'm not even sure if I was on my desk, but I got everything out that I needed, and that ended up helping me, because I did text the person that was organizing this like, hey, is there any chance like that they meant an hour later? And they're like, no. And I was like, okay. So I got it together right in the nick of time. So pro tip, know the time zone of your video calls, because you don't want to miss any of them. I got set up, I was ready, and the phone call began, and it was really nice and natural and fluid. And so the software engineer ended up being one of the mentors for interns. And so it wasn't just someone who was, not gonna be related to me at all if I got the job. She was really, really intelligent and nice and kind, and she wanted to know about the projects I was working on, particularly in my resume. She wanted to know what skills, what programming languages I had been using, whether I had knowledge of GitHub, because one of the integration systems for this software engineering company was similar to GitHub in how they integrate changes between different versions of code. And so she wanted to know about that. And then the manager was there to facilitate, and he kind of explained how the internships worked and what kind of length they were. And later on, he was the one that kind of talked to me about like, okay, these are your hours, this is what the work life is, and this is what you're going to be paid. I was really excited by this. I had a really good feeling about the mentor and the manager, and I was like, whew, because before this I hadn't had many interactions with the faces behind, tech companies, the faces behind the products that I use every day. And so I was really excited that this was becoming a reality for me. And so past that, the interview I felt went well. I sent my thank you emails and connected with these people on LinkedIn, and then later they decided, hey, we do want to move forward with you for this engineering position. And so after that, I think we had one more follow-up interview about, okay, like, what's your flexibility? When do you end school? When can you start? And like what my plans were for the summer in case I had to go on vacation or not, which I didn't. So my plans were really flexible and nice for the summer. So then from that point on, a contract was written and sent to me by October of my junior year. And that's when I decided, I weighed my options, and I was like, you know what, this is gonna be awesome. I can commute from home, I can work in my favorite programming language, which is Python, and I can develop other skills because I was used a lot for testing code that was written and pointing out errors and recording errors that were occurring in code. So I kind of kept documents on what I was testing, and I got to see the behind the scenes of what my mentor did and the other software engineers on the group. And by the end of the internship, me and the other interns gave presentations on what we had been doing throughout the summer, and we had a really positive feedback and experience from all of our mentors and the employees there and the managers, and it was such a good experience. Like, I'm so grateful for them, and at the end of it, I was offered a full-time position with a competitive salary, and maybe if I hadn't decided to pursue a PhD, then I would have, you know, chosen that opportunity as a full-time position as a software engineer. But I'm really happy where different things have led me, and I'm really happy where I am right now, and I am looking for internships for this coming summer. So that's kind of the condensed version of the story of how I got my first software engineering internship. If you guys want me to do a part 2, I've done other interviews since then and have been offered other positions. Before I knew I was going to graduate school, I was debating taking a full-time job or doing graduate school, you know, right after my graduation, and so I had to weigh those opportunities in my mind and decide what was best for me. But yes, senior year I did have more interviews and more ups and downs, and so I could elaborate that if you guys want to see that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I will bring you another lifestyle makeup video on Tuesday, and then a week from today I will have a video on the 90-second pitch, how to pitch yourself for potential businesses, companies, where you want to work, different people that you meet here and there, just so you never know when someone, a boss of a company you want to impress, you gotta have your 90-second pitch ready on, you know, who you are, what you're all about, what your goals are, and what you're trying to do. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a beautiful weekend ahead, and I will see you very soon.